Winter is a difficult time for birds since their normal food resources are limited. Insects are dead and dormant, and the vegetation is either consumed or withered away. Non-migratory birds will shift their food diets to spiders and insects and to seeds and fruits. As humans continue to encroach on their natural habitat, food resources becomes more difficult to find, especially during the winter months. We have a responsibility to help the wildlife. I worked on many projects with my son. We have built bird houses and various types of feeders to help the birds in our community. Today we're going to build a pinecone bird feeder that I found on Outdoor Parent using easily accessible and and everyday items you can find in your local stores. The Bird Bioeditors Digest suggests that one of the top #1 things we could do to help birds is build homemade bird feeders to support them in the winter months. So for your supplies, you'll just need a pine cone. You can find them in hobby stores. Just make sure they're not painted or have any glitter or any kind of decorations on them. You want to keep them natural. You can also find them in the ground sometimes. You will need some string. Just make sure it's sturdy enough to hold the bird's weights when you're tying it to the tree, and just make sure it's long enough. So you can use peanut butter, vegetable shortening, or suet, which isn't suggested during the warm months because it can turn rancid, so this is a good one to do for the winter and pretty much all year round. And then just some uncooked dry oats. Then you'll need some bird seed, which we have here. If you can get some that's high black oil sunflower seeds, they suggest that, and also some cracked corn. If you can get the medium grain, that's better because it doesn't become mushy with moisture in the air. And just the containers to work with. So this will be when we put it together. So first we're going to tie the string around the pine cone. I've already done this to make it a little easier. We're going to mix the ingredients, which are the oats and the peanut butter. And then we will spread it onto the pine cone, trying to get into the crevices here, which can be a little tricky. And then we will take this, after it's been covered, and roll it around in the seeds. So first we're going to take and mix the peanut butter and the oats together. So I pre-measured this. It's a half a cup of peanut butter and a half a cup of oats, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So you're just going to mix it together till it's pretty uniform. Now, if you have peanut allergies, you can use the vegetable shortening or the suet instead, or other nut butters. I'm taking a paper towel because it's going to be pretty messy. So I'm just placing this and taking the mixture and just trying to get it into the crevices and the open areas. You may need more or less of the mixture depending on how large your pine cones are. You could use your hands too if you wanted, but it might get a little sticky if you're trying to roll it around. Okay. So I'm getting close to getting all this together. I'm gonna have to let go of the paper towel. You can also use cornmeal if you don't have oats, so that works too. So this is pretty good. We're just gonna roll it around, pressing it. And this is pretty much it. So you will take and hang it up across from the Audubon Society, suggested in trees or sheltered areas, at least 3 feet from a window so the birds don't collide into them and get injured. And also out of direct sunlight, because if the oils drip, it can damage their weatherproofing of their feathers. So this is just something you can do with your family, and it's something that'll help the environment at the same time. So that's it. I'm just gonna wash my hands.